Hey guys, what's going on? So today we are looking at an RC figure. You might be asking yourself, wait a minute, he already did an RC video. Yes, but this is not mine again. Just like Grimlock or Vulcan, this is
This is mine. I'm Dan. This is my hand. This is all you'll see of me ever. So today we have the Mastermind Creations PS-04A Azalea. This is the alternative version. This is the alternative because she's got different coloring, different faces, different feet. The original has the regular hot pink. It's got the gray tummy, different feet, different faces. But I went with the Azalea, with the alternative, because I just thought it looked better. So she's a really nice looking figure. I really like the look of it. I think it's much better than the official Masterpiece figure. I mean, that's just me. But that one just doesn't really look that much like the 1986 movie. So a little weird movement to Kara to design their figure that way, but that's another figure. Today we're trying to talk about this one. So she's very proportionate. Nothing looks off. The back is really clean, which is really cool how they made it this clean. Even the official one can do it. It doesn't break the silhouette of the figure at all. I mean, it's a typical RC backpack. There's not much to expect, but this is by far the cleanest we've seen on a figure, at least to my knowledge.
on a figure or an RC figure.
On an RC figure.
There you go.
Yeah. So here's a cat.
Come here, sweetie.
Oh, she's a sweet cat. So here we have her default face. The camera would focus properly, but it won't. Okay. So this is the default neutral face. And if we just take the other faces right here.
Did you ever show off the packaging?
I didn't, but not yet. That's later. We've got 3 extra faces. So you've got this smirk, which I think looks really nice. It's probably my favorite face. We've got the red shades, which I think also looks really nice.
I personally, to jump in, I'd prefer if the shades came out of the helmet rather than being a separate face, but that's just me.
Sort of like the official one. And then we have another favorite face of mine is the smiley face. Frankie, what do you think about the face?
I'm not making any comments. NSFW.
He thinks it looks creepy. I think it looks fine. I think it looks nice. And to change the face, you gotta just take her face off,
Rip her face
like Optimus Prime does in the Michael Bay movies, the ones that everyone likes, the ones that are so good. And so you take the face off, and there's a little hole, and you're gonna attach it to a tab, and just push that in, and then slip the face back
If you guys
onto the
really
head.
hate us, comment below and we'll review the Michael Bay movies.
And there is her smirking face. And the same works for every other face too. It's the same face change gimmick. Another swappable gimmick you can do here is interchangeable hands. So right now,
Simple ball joint mechanism, right?
yep, simple ball joints. So right now she's got the fists on. She's ready to punch some people in the face or the nuts maybe. So you just pop the hands off. By the way, you do need to have the fists on when you transform her. Otherwise, the car just won't look that right. It won't push anything out of whack or anything. But it's really in terms of appearance. So you've got like 3 different pairs of hands aside from the closed fists. You've got these relaxed hands.
Yay. Chest hands.
These looks really nice. You've got these cupped hands, and they're much more curved inward.
So just grabbing people's
than
butts.
basically, and you can tell they are different from the relaxed hands because the relaxed hands
They're a little
look
more splayed
relaxed.
out and flat, whereas the other hands are they got much more of a curve to them.
Yep.
The groping hands.
And yeah, you can get several different poses out of that one. And then you got the trigger finger hands. And
which, if you're
speaking of trigger
displaying
finger
or rolling,
hands,
those are probably the ones you end up using.
yep. And now you've got the guns.
Where did these guns in fiction? Where did those guns come from?
These may be inspired by the comics. She doesn't have her G1 weapons or anything, but that's perfectly fine. And there's a little tab on her awesome thighs that you can just plug the guns into. You can plug these guns into her thighs using the little hole on the handle or on the side of the gun. It's really personal preference.
Oh boy, refrain.
And
The female figure has sticking holes or something. Okay.
And if you'll just tab in, I can't really see properly, but there you go. There's her gun storage. And I forgot to put the hands back on, but whatever. So
She's
you
a
can
handless thing walking around trying to shoot people with no hands.
So you take the gun, and it's pretty simple. You just flip the handle forward, and it does clip in too. If you just, there you go.
Yay!
And there you go. And then you just get the trigger finger hand, place the gun right in there. It just cups around really easily.
Yay.
Same with the other. It's the same process.
Not to stop you, did they do a hot rod? Out of curiosity, did this company do a hot rod?
I don't think they have.
Because that would have been great to go along with this.
They did a Springer.
I mean, the official hot rod's good and all, but I don't think they match aesthetically.
The fingers, the hands are like a little soft
plastic. The point is,
but
you could fit the gun.
And there you go.
In the hands.
Yeah. And here you go. So you just attach the hands. Bada bing. Bada boom.
Bing bong.
And there you go. There you have Azalea
I've
with...
been watching a lot of Side Talk NYC lately.
They're good videos. And there you have Azalea with her gun. So she can do the pew pew bang bang and the...
Here we are referencing much more popular YouTubers. Oh, boy.
Yeah. So you can get her in pretty good poses, which, by the way, let's go right ahead and get into if we can get her standing.
Very evidently, you cannot get her standing.
And there's one pose you can do.
What did you do to her poor ankles?
They're broken. So... in terms of articulation, she's loaded with articulation. Like, she's really nicely articulated. It's really cool. So you've got a ball joint at the head. You can't really get a lot of side to side, which is kind of a shame. But you do have a hinge of the neck, which, along with the ball joint, you can make her look up that far and make her look down that far at her, You've got the arm can go forward and back just a little bit, but of course the backpack gets in the way. Her shoulder actually has a soft ratchet. You don't hear it or anything, but it's there. You got a bicep swivel. You've got a double jointed elbow, which looks really nice. The wrists are on ball joints. So you can do pretty much anything you can with ball joints, including the swivel, up, down, inwarded out. Go crazy, or don't, because then they'll pop off like the idiot you are. Then you can utilize the ball joint at the upper body and the torso to get a pretty good crunch. Not much of an arcing back, but oh well. You can get some side to side too, which I think is pretty cool. And you can also kind of get a waist swivel. I don't know, it's very minimal, but if you do like a mess around with it just a little bit, you can get some waist swivel. Just gotta, and there you go. It just kind of break the sculpt a little bit, but it's ratcheted too, which is pretty cool. Now the hips are pretty cool, aside from looks. So you can extend the hip down if you would just look there. So you can extend it downward to get more range, to give it a nice kick,
Oh, jeez.
a pretty good kick back,
Made it look like a ballet dancer there.
you can get a good spread, a thick thigh swivel, there you go. And you get a single jointed knee bend, but it's a pretty good knee bend. Looks really nice. The knee pad can also adjust to make it look better, however you wish. And you have up and down the foot, not a whole lot. Up and down the toe, but the up is really more for transformation. And you get a nice pivot. So yeah, there's a lot of posing options for her, and including with the alternate faces and the extra hands, you can get lots of display options for her, which I think is pretty neat.
10 minutes in, we haven't even gone over the transformation yet.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into the transformation, I just want to show off the collector's card. Depicts her in heroic mode, which is very accurate to the toy it's based on. You get the back, you get the description and some stats, which I miss seeing stats on more figures. I wish more would show them, particularly on the retail ones.
The
but
Masterpiece still
that's
does.
just me.
Like, official Masterpiece still does stats.
The Masterpiece still does descriptions and stats. I just wish retail figures did that.
Generation just doesn't bother anymore. They have like a one-sentence bio on the back of the box.
Pretty much. And you also have the instructions, which do the really dumb long fold out.
Oh, like Hasbro.
Which I don't like when figures do that, but these instructions are actually good because they're formatted really nicely. They've got the writing to explain what to do. And these are well formatted instructions. It's just the way that the actually folds out I don't like. I'm not a fan of. And on the instructions, you do also get some credits on who designed the packaging and the robot, which is pretty cool.
I understand why the instructions are the way they are.
Why is that?
That's why.
And it's why because of the box. If she would just stand up and let me show out the box. Here's a box.
It's tiny.
It's a small box. She comes packed in her Karma, which we'll get to in a minute.
I have never seen a small box that small box on a Masterpiece style figure ever. That thing is little.
And she's like an average size Masterpiece figure. She's like 7 inches tall. Same size as the Carbots in the mainline, really. But this is a really small box, and there it is next to her. So the box is tiny, but you've got some really nice artwork. You got the Perfection Series logo at the top, Ocular Max, and that's the name of the actual company. Mastermind Creations is just something else, I think. Get a side box, shows a robo mode. Back of the box, car mode, shows her transforming into robo mode, which is cool. The same description and the same stats as the card. Here's the other side of her face. That's the what?
Is that in Chinese or Japanese?
Oh, it's in English.
Oh, is it English?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. There's the top of the box, shows the car mode and robo mode again. Bottom of the box, words and things and other stuff. There's a barcode if you want to look at the barcode. There it is. And also what's really cool is if you open up the side of the box, you can see QR code and some stats and the same credits as usual, and you get the Ocular Max website and a Facebook page where you can request any parts that have broken on your figures, which ain't that lovely. And so that's pretty much it for the robo mode. So why don't we go ahead and get to the transformation. So you got to remove the gun hands because they won't work. You need the fists to transform them properly. So we'll just go ahead, pop those on, pop those on. Transformation doesn't take too long either. It's pretty straightforward for the most part. So let's go ahead. First thing you want to do is take this upper chest piece, and this tabs into the back. So you're gonna, what I do is I take the shoulders, I push on her chest so I can get some leverage, and that just unclips. as you would any chest, really. You take this hinge on under the neck, this gray hinge. You just extend it as far as it'll go, so it looks like she is she looks weird now. So you unclap, untab the back if it wasn't already. You just go ahead and do that. And this first section, you untab from the body, and that just accordions outward. So something that looks like this. You can take the little grill, flip that out. Take these little white tips, swivel them around so they look like this. And then you'll just pop these up and shift them down. Pop these away and shift it down. There's the cat again. Ain't she sweet? Now, with the arms, you'll just swivel them upward. And then
My roommate walked in like a jackass.
There's the cat. Now these little pieces on the bicep that you just flip down. Same thing. And oh, before we do that, you gotta get to the chairs. Those little chairs right there.
So we've had cat interference and roommate interference during this video.
And right before the chair, you never forget the chairs. You always gotta fold them outward. So the seats just flip up like that. Then you can take the head and use the hinge joints to push it in all the way as far as it can go. So you get something that looks like this. It's not perfectly lined up or anything. You don't need it to be, but it should look something like this. Then the elbows, they just go back on the first hinge, then back out on the second hinge. Same on the first one. And then you just join the arms together just like that. The arms don't tab into each other. That's where this top piece comes into play. It just comes in like so. Gotta straighten everything out. These little tabs right there will tab into the holes on the forearms right there. So just go right ahead, tab that in, and there you go. Now to the legs, what we'll do here is we'll just open up this panel at the back of the thigh. You'll kind of just break the thigh in half, pretty much, and then rotate the hip up. And you want to make sure it's straightened out, otherwise nothing will really lock in together. So you want something that looks like this, so that the hip is properly positioned, just like so. Then you can take the tire, which is just hiding in the thigh right there. That just flips out. And now the legs, you gotta push this gray piece down. Then you can just go ahead, put the thigh right in there. And push the shin upward like that. Put the tire in that way. Flip the toe. Then you can just flip this panel upward. And there we have a leg all done. Same process as the first one. Break the thigh, take the panel, just rotate around. Straighten out just like so. Take the tire out. Just like so. It's not as finicky as it looks.
Yes, it is.
Maybe it is. And then you just get it all situated just like so. And same thing again, you just push the legs together, push the tire in just like that, flip the foot inward. So you got something that looks just like that. Flip this panel up, kind of squeeze everything into place as you may need to. Then the back just flips back, And these same tabs that you tab the guns into will tab into these holes on the panel. So you just line that up. There you go. Same on the other side. There you go. Then these panels just flip down, they tab in. There you go. And there you go. And then these front panels, they'll shift inward on this little sliding pin. They'll just shift inward like that. And they'll tab into these pegs on the knees. And they'll tab in there also at the front. So you just tab that in. Make sure it's tabbed in. Same on the other side. Just right here. Make sure everything's tabbed in the way it's supposed to. And there you go. There's her car mode, which looks pretty nice in my opinion. It's got an issue where there's some stuff at the bottom, like these panels, they kind of stop the car from rolling properly, which is a shame. Vehicle mode is really rounded. It's not sharp or symmetric or edgy like the original movie. I mean, it is symmetrical, but something else you get with this figure is a little panel that I lost, but oh well. But this little fin piece doesn't come packaged in the box. You just kind of have to pop it on. There's a little tiny purple piece that you can just stick on there if you wanted, but I go with the fin because that's accurate to the character. And tires are rubber too. She rolls pretty good. Of course, she's not level or anything, which is a shame. And there's the panels at the bottom that just kind of stop her from rolling, like cars should. Cars need to roll.
Oh, really?
But she can roll pretty good. And oh, this is actually the best it's worked out for me this week. How about that? And so yeah, there you go. And what you can also do is you can take the guns, flip the handles in, just like so, and they'll tab into these little holes at the back near the back of the car. And you can do them either way. You can do them this way with the guns pointing backward, or you can do them this way. It doesn't really matter. It's really just a matter of personal preference. I'll do it this way. It looks more streamlined. And there you go. There's the Karma with the gun storage, which looks pretty cool. And that's about it. That's it for the Mastermind Creations Azalea. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you all have a good day.
Take it easy.